It's 3 o'clock, April 17th, 2019. This is a Flagler County Tourist Development Council. We're in the Government Services Building 2 in the board chambers. I'd ask you all to please rise with me as we honor our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And again, I'd ask you to join me in a moment of silence as we remember our first responders, our firefighters, our police, and our men and women in uniform all over the world. Thank you. Just a reminder, this meeting is going to stream live on Spectrum, channel 492, and on FlaglerCountyYouTube.com. Before we get into the meeting, a couple cleanup items from last week. As of February 20th, the TDC meeting, the following items were documented as conflict of interest for Florida Statute 112.31434A. In item 5A, Family Life Center One Love Tennis Weekend will utilize the Hammock Beach Resort as a host hotel and director of national accounts. Stephen Baker did not participate in the vote. In addition, Melissa Holland declared a conflict of interest and did not vote for the same event due to her position on the committee planning the tennis weekend. Form 8Bs were completed, signed, and filed with the board secretary. Item 2, the meeting minutes. I request the board approve the minutes for the February 20th meeting. Do I have a motion?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minute meetings from February 20th. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say nay. Motion carries unanimously. Item 3, financial reports. The first one is our budget to actual report, and the second one is the revenue report. I would entertain a motion to approve both those reports.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the budget to annual report and the revenue report. All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Next, we have the marketing reports. Amy, did you want to say anything about the marketing reports, or do you want to just approve them? All right.
We can just approve them right now.
Okay. I need a motion to approve the December 2018 and January 2019 marketing reports.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the December 2018 and January 2019 marketing reports. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Welcome, Mayor Holland. Item 5, Amy.
Chair, did we do approval for item 3B?
Yes,
Yes, okay.
I did A and B.
Great, thank you. Good afternoon. For the record, I'm Amy Lukasik, the Interim Tourism Director. And item 5A and B is under the Discretionary Event Fund, and I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Craig Leninger, who can walk you through those events.
Awesome. Good afternoon, everybody. The first one is the Florida Lacrosse Showcase. It's a new event that we'll be hosting here in Palm Coast at Indian Trails. It's an event that's been held in Orlando for the last couple of years. There's approximately 400 athletes and 50 coaches from across the country that'll be coming in to play at this event. Like I said, it has moved from Orlando here to Flagler County. It's kind of piggybacking on top of the Father's Day lacrosse tournament, which we have. Its overall goal is basically to increase room nights, so instead of 2 room nights to 4 room nights as they come in for 4 days. So I'll anticipate any questions or anyone has any, I'd be happy to answer any of them.
Chairman, I need to excuse myself. Chairman, is that better?
That's
awesome.
better.
Thank you. I need to excuse myself from voting on this as we have a block of rooms at Hammock Beach Resort. On that, I'd be glad to answer any questions, but I need to excuse myself on that one.
Very well.
Mr. Chairman, I as well need to recuse myself from voting as there is a block of rooms at the Hampton Inn for this event.
Craig, how many people do we expect?
There'll be 400 plus individual athletes. At least 400 is what they're saying. Probably closer to 600 or 700. The reports that I've attached have gone through with the 400 athletes, just anticipating the low number. In addition to that, there'll be 50 college coaches or 50 plus college coaches coming from across the country. On the paperwork, you'll see it's from Bucknell, Naval Academy, Mercer College, Manhattan College, Chapel Hill. A lot of the major lacrosse programs around the country will be in town.
Yeah, that's a good
Chair, I
deal.
had a question.
Yes, sir.
What is the percentage of folks in that attendance or expected attendance that are going to be doing overnight stays versus, locals?
Approximately 75 to 80% of those will be staying overnight in the hotels.
Okay, thank you.
Are these numbers based on what happened in Orlando or what they really expect to happen here?
Based on the low numbers from Orlando, what they anticipate would be the lowest number possible coming over. Like I said, they're anticipating maybe double that. But for this purpose, we wanted to keep it at the low numbers just to keep everything there.
Do we have enough hotel rooms to take care of that many people?
Yes, we do.
Yes, Mayor?
I just wanted to make sure that when they were coming in, that we were giving them maybe in their bags the restaurant guides, the place to shop local at, those sorts of things, other maybe activities they could be doing. Do we normally do that, or?
Usually we do that at the request of the organizing committee. Some of them do, some don't, but this one will make sure that they do. This is an event that's going on. The Father's Day one, which we'll talk about next, has been going on for 15 years. So a lot of the people coming know, but we'll make sure that when I speak with Triple Crown that they have all that to give out to the teams when they check in.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else? I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the Triple Crown Sports College Showcase, June 13th and 14th of this year. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say nay. Hearing none, the motion passes unanimously. Let me take a minute here to step back and welcome Mark Richardson to our board. He's our new manager of the Hilton Garden Inn. Mark, good to have you with us. On to item 5B. Craig, again.
Do we have any of the ABs that people need to recuse themselves from? Do you want to do it afterwards or now?
Go ahead with your presentation.
I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is the Father's Day Invitational. It's June 15th and 16th. It will piggyback on top of the showcase coming in immediately following. This is the 15th summer that they've been here out of 18 years. Anticipating in excess of 100 teams. 100 teams, again, is the low number. They're really anticipating 130 to 135 teams. They had 128 last year, I believe, is the number. So numbers will go up from there. They'll be using Indian Trails and Wadsworth, so they'll be using both facilities going back and forth. Again, it's an event that we're very familiar with. It's been in for 15 years. It's one of the biggest lacrosse tournaments we have in the county. It's also going to be the first time that an event that I know of in the county will be using the stay-to-play policy, where teams staying within basically their home base is outside of 90 miles has to stay in one of the hotel room blocks that the organization has set up. So this will give us a little bit better information about exact number of hotel rooms or where teams are staying or what's going on. So it's going to be coming up for all of their events moving forward, but this is the first time they're going to be using it to give us a little better numbers as well.
That's good. Do we have the same problem?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I need to excuse myself from voting on this as we have a block of rooms, and which is sold out, by the way. Yeah, wish we'd block more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
Mhm.
I as well need to
Same thing.
recuse myself from voting as there is a block of rooms at the Hampton Inn.
Mark, do you have the same problem?
I'm not aware, so I will recuse just proactively.
Okay, thank you. Yes, and now, any questions from us?
I just, I'm curious from our lodging partners, what happens when someone blocks, a tournament comes in and blocks, I don't know, set of rooms? Is that recorded and reported on when they check out, that they were part of this tournament? How does that happen?
Yeah. Well, when they call in to make a reservation, they'll just be they'll say, "Hey, we're coming part of this tournament," and reservationists will link them to that, so they get the group rate and things like that. And it's easier to run a report for the the guy running the tournament, so he can see everybody that's signed up. Yeah. Yep.
You can set a specific group code, and then you can pull the report, excuse me, from that specific code.
Okay. And that, if they're booking through the organization, is it tied to the room nights and the hotels on their stays? Do they ever book through the organization? I don't know if that's...
It depends on each state of play is a little bit different as to how they wind up doing it. That's between the organization and the hotel as to how they've done it. Okay. At the end, when we get the report, we'll be able to compare as well to see, because sometimes some of the parents who are staying with points or something else don't get into that room blocks. That doesn't, so the hotel may not see they're part of that, the event staying. But with the state of play, we'll know exactly who's staying where and what hotels and different things that are going on.
From a travel professional point of view, if I call up one of these hotels, I'll ask for 25 rooms, and I get a special rate, and they will give me a contract. I sign the contract, and what room pickup I have goes against the contract. So if I don't comply with so many rooms, the rate changes, and I think you'll find that's pretty standard across the board.
But if there's an organization and say they're staying in a different hotel, right, they make reservations completely on their own, do we have any way of tying it back to this event?
That's what the State of Play program will do for us. Because the organization will know in order, if any of the teams are staying in the hotels, if they're playing in the event and their home base is outside of I think it's 90 miles, I believe is what they're using for this organization, they have to require X number of room nights before they can play in the tournament.
So stay to play.
Stay to play. Okay. It's a policy that they're using, particularly in youth sports all across the country.
Well, the mayor asked a good question, and it's one that I've troubled me over the years because you really didn't get an answer. What happens if they just go get a hotel room? They're not part of the block of rooms. They just go get a Airbnb room or something. How do we track that, or do we track that?
Previously, there would be no way unless we were told that, and for sometimes some of the events, the grants that would come in when we were tracking the post-event grants reports, we'd have a list. They would say, these people stayed at this hotel. We contact the hoteliers and ask them if they had this last name staying at the hotel to add, to verify they were there or not. Right. With the State of Play program, we'll know that a little bit better than what the hotel would know.
Because otherwise you're at the mercy of the individual who makes the reservation. If he doesn't say he's here for the tournament,
that's why the State of Pay is
you lose it.
It's a really good idea because it's a multiple block with all the hotels.
Yeah.
If you do an individual hotel, you got to count it separately.
And usually, Chairman, we'll give them a discounted rate.
Right.
Be lower than our web rates.
Right.
So hopefully so. Sometimes it's not.
Yeah, there's a benefit to using the group rate because it's usually 30% lower.
Yeah, and I can tell you that I personally went on the State of, since this is the first time I was using, I went and looked to see what the rates were for the State of Play rates versus the published rates on the websites. And everyone I checked, the State of Play rate was lower, the organization rate was lower than the hotels. So thank the hotels for...
But even if they're not booking directly with the hotelier, but through a, I don't know what the third-party vendor like Orbitz or whatever, will that still track that?
If they report it to the tournament organization, yes.
Okay.
Usually you're given a contract number to use. So if the person identifies that contract number when they make the booking, no matter who it's through, it goes to the contract. It should, anyway.
Craig,
Anything else from
I had one.
Yes, Eric.
Craig, can you just restate your potential attendees and the percent of that who are coming from outside that 90-mile range?
Sure. It's the estimated attendance on the weekend is 4,500 total people. We base that numbers based on there's 100 teams. Each team has approximately 22 athletes and 2 coaches. Then you add in the parents, grandparents, brothers, sisters, and that's where you get to the 4,500 total. And with the reports that we ran, the total number of room nights is a little more than 2,500. And that's over the entire weekend for everyone that's staying. So that's, 2 nights times the number of people that are staying in there.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but we used to get reports on prior events and what room nights they produced in the past, and I don't see this on this report. Am I missing something?
No, for the discretionary fund, we had not ever provided history, but we can moving forward.
It would be helpful, I think.
For the overnight stay grants, there is
Yeah,
a section in that, so we can just kind of transfer those questions
Especially
over.
with the discretionary fund, given what's going on.
Sure,
It might
no
be a good
problem.
idea.
Yeah, because we track it. I mean, it is tracked, so I agree with you. Let's get it reported.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Any other questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the Triple Crown Sports Father's Day Classic.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the Triple Crown Sports Father's Day Classic, June 15th through the 16th of this year. All in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Hearing none, the motion passes with the exception of those who recused themselves. Next is, we have to discuss our meeting time. This is an experiment, this 3 o'clock meeting. So I need to hear from you whether this is good, bad, or you're indifferent.
I will definitely speak up because it is very inconvenient for me. Very inconvenient.
Okay.
It's in
was
the
it
middle of
keep
my
track?
day.
No, what?
And that's a definite no for me. It's very bad.
You're a no
Yeah,
also?
my office is literally on the other side of town, and so I'm coming over here
Yeah,
from
it's a
the
mess.
hammock,
Right.
and then having to drive back because I have other meetings. It's
Yeah.
just,
Yeah, it's totally,
You'd rather do it at 10.
Yeah.
I would
At
rather
10.
definitely do it in the morning.
Eric, you have any preference?
Well, this is more convenient for me just because I can put in a workday. I would be okay with anything that is in the beginning of the workday or at the end of the workday, rather than the middle.
Rather than 10.
Correct.
And I'm fine at 9, or I'm fine early.
Right.
I'm-
If we
Yeah,
were to push
I
it
agree.
earlier, that would be helpful. It's very hard for me to break away in the middle of the day just with my business.
Okay. Gary?
I'll remain flexible.
Gary's flexible. Let me record that just a second.
So moved.
I would prefer 10 o'clock.
10 rather than 9.
Well, in the morning.
In the morning.
In the morning.
In
yeah.
the morning.
Yeah, yeah.
Either one's fine, but 9 o'clock would be better.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would suggest 9 as well.
Yeah, 9 is good.
I'll entertain a motion to move this meeting to 9 o'clock.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded to move the TDC meeting to the appointed date at 9 o'clock. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Hearing none, the motion passes. 9 o'clock. Amy.
Yes, thank you.
Amy, you're up. Strategic plan.
Yes, so as we all know, tourism is very competitive, and it's one of the main economic drivers here in our county. And we have certainly seen the benefits of our efforts through just capital projects and our different grant programs. But now is the time that we need to engage all of the community stakeholders to actively participate in the 2020-2025 Destination Strategic Plan. And right now, we are currently seeking quotes from qualified vendors to help us guide through that process of what the destination will look like from a tourism perspective and the steps we need to take to get there. Also, the roles of a traditional DMO, a destination marketing organization, has shifted, as well as the roles of the internal staff. So to help everybody get in the right mindset and on the same page, there at your chair you have a book that we bought everyone called Destination Leadership. It's written by one of the leaders in our industry, becomes very well respected. He speaks at a lot of our conferences, and it's an easy read. Our interim administrator, he's had it for a week, and he's almost done. So I know by the next meeting, everyone here will have accomplished reading the book because we hope to start that process as soon as possible. A large portion of the book is dedicated and written to TDC board members. So there's a lot of good reminders in there, and I just want to share something with you so that it's public, that it shares a lot of things that we kind of forget about. Tourism, and these are facts, tourism infuses new money into a community's economy. Tourism introduces prospective residents and investors to a community or region, so tourism can be seen as the first date for economic development. Tourism is the face that we show the rest of the world. Tourism development provides attractions and facilities for residents to enjoy. Tourism-generated taxes help keep resident-paid property taxes lower. And most urban tourism attractions and venues make our downtowns attractive for the young professionals that every community should be trying to attract. No other industry touches as many facets of a community as travel and tourism, and thus no other community organization impacts as many residents as a destination marketing organization. So it's a very exciting read, and we'll be looking forward to discussing it at our next meeting. But I just wanted to give you that update because it will be coming towards you and give you a head start on your book. That's all I have for that item, Chair.
So we have homework.
Yes. I call it development, board development. So I'll entertain any questions.
Yeah.
Are you saying there is going to be a strategic plan?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so are we supposed to be, are you going to coordinate that? Or?
Yes, right
Oh,
now
okay.
you're just reading.
Okay.
You're reading while I'm getting quotes.
Okay.
And then I'll come back with who the vendor is going to be and then introduce how the process will work.
Do you have an estimate of what that would cost to hire somebody to do that?
It looks like it's going to be under $25,000, which is what we have budgeted for. So
Okay, good.
that's in my initial digging around and snooping.
Okay, good. Any other questions? Yeah, Eric.
Amy, what kind of time frame are you looking at on that?
You know, I leave that to the facilitator. You mean once we start or from today?
Until, the whole strategic plan is put together.
That would be depending on what leader we chose and how much time it takes and what steps they involve. Some of them do more extensive surveying of the community leaders and stakeholders. Just different vendors have a different process. So when we know more, we'll share more.
Could I make a suggestion
Yes.
in this preparation? I think it would be really good if we could take a look at the trend lines of our digital activity, okay, over, let's say, at least the last 3 years. I think there's a benchmark here with the rollout of the new website and everything else, and I'd really like to see some of the activity on the website, okay, as well as for the last 3 years, and then use this benchmark when we rolled out the new website. Because what's going on in the digital space is where our world is now. Yeah. And I think we need to have a better understanding of the activity that's happening there. So if you could help with that, I think it would be greatly appreciated.
Absolutely.
Any other questions or comments? Thank you, Amy. You're back up, Amy. Tourism Development Office update.
All right. So under this item, Mr. Inks, one of the items I want to update the board on is starting with the next meeting, so it'll be the February marketing report. The marketing reports are going to look different, and that is because of our new vendor with the website. So I did want to give you a heads up, so there'll be a lot more data. So you may be thanking me or
No, I'm thanking
cussing
you
me.
now.
But and we're still tweaking it with them, but it'll look different. So I encourage you to dive into it, and we'll answer any questions for the next meeting. Also, the budget, we will be reaching out to you. And then within the next couple weeks, we do need to schedule a time to go over the next fiscal year budget because by the next TDC meeting, I need to be able to present it to you. So I'll be reaching out to you for some scheduled times and just try to be have as much availability as possible and make it a priority so we can be ahead and help with that process. I'm going to be sharing with you also for the update some of the things the marketing department has been working on. A lot of it is specifically for A1A businesses. So the first one that I want to show you is a video. And this is targeted toward families. That's something that we're really taking a lot of focus on, and that is due to the data and the research we received from the new website vendor when they were looking how to build our website and what keywords and where the pages need to be. So with that, we decided to make 3 versions of a family first video. So this one is the longer one. This is 3 minutes, and the premise is that you only have 18 summers with your kids, and you really want to make the most of each summer. And it also ties into, the kids being so connected these days to technology and not to each other and their families. So we kind of show that dynamic and the relationships. And then we have a 30-second and a 15-second that we use more for advertising. But this one lives on our website and our YouTube channel, and we'll take it away. It's an actual family.
Really to reconnect. It's difficult because I travel a lot for work. Kim's very busy with her job, and the kids have so many after-school activities that really we have to find that moment when we can reconnect with each other, because we don't get it a lot when we're home.
And I think when you get away and you get outdoors, you're able to talk about things and slow down and spend time together, and they seem to ask more questions. Grace and I spend a lot of time on the beach reading our books, which is another thing that we like to do.
Listening to music.
Yeah.
We talked about things that we'd never get to talk about if we were just sort of shut away in our rooms, or I'm upstairs playing video games and she's like out with her friends and stuff.
Is everybody ready?
Yeah! All right. For me, going on a family vacation together is more about the adventure and what we can discover and find and making memories.
I was pretty nervous at first. When I saw them in the tank, they were way bigger than I thought. Then getting in the water with them, I saw them like play with each other and stuff and play with the trainers, and it let me like touch it. It was crazy. Growing so fast. It was a lot of fun.
Remember at the end what happened? So the dolphin says goodbye and splashed this huge wave over us, and it hit me in the face so hard it knocked my glasses off.
And then I bent over laughing and it splashed me in the face a second time. Yeah, I was caught off guard by that one.
I think just being outside, outdoors in the fresh air every day, it was a new adventure, and I just felt really re-energized again, just getting away for a little while. Just felt like it recharged all of our batteries.
You know, you're looking out into the ocean and you're having a good time and relaxing, and then right across the street is just a little ice cream shop that you can go to.
I think one of my favorite things, of course, is not having to cook all the time. We found some really cool little unique places. A little craft donut place that we went to. Remember that, Malcolm?
She got a donut that had powdered sugar on the top, and when I took a bite into it, it just went everywhere, all over the table. It was so funny.
You always hear as a parent, oh, they grow up so fast, especially when they're little, and you don't really absorb that. And now that they are getting older, you do think about that, and it's just important to stay connected and in their life and be present.
First time catching a fish that big, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, the sheep's head you caught.
Yeah.
What was unique about that sheep's head?
Big teeth on it.
Just remember, we looked out into the ocean, and it was just a beautiful day, and we actually
saw another dolphin that just jumped out. Yeah,
actually dolphin in the wild, just right there. It was beautiful.
Looking at the water when we were on the beach, looking at the ocean. We were in the kayaks, we were in the intercoastal waterway. I mean, we did a lot of really incredible things.
It was fun to just play again.
Looks like a great place to visit. Okay, so the next item that we expanded our media coverage is we've been working with Edible Magazine, which is a travel and culinary magazine that is Northeast Florida and Southern Georgia and South Carolina, very southern South Carolina. And typically we just do full-page ads with them, but this fiscal year, in an effort to bring more exposure to Flagler Beach businesses, we expanded our coverage where we, in some issues, have double-page spreads. We also purchased the ability, they came and did photo shoots. Normally, the cost would be for one restaurant, but they were generous enough and wanted to help out with the restaurants. So they said, you know what, we'll just come for the day and just fit as many as you can in. So we fit in quite a few, and the pictures just look incredible. So this is Breakaways, Tortugas, Oceanside, Java Joint. Yeah, so, and what's nice is that these photos are given also to the restaurant owners, so now they have new assets to use. for themselves for promotion. And we also have online chef interviews that they'll be doing. There's social media components. So this is specifically targeting restaurants, but just wanted to share that update with you. All right, and was it last week? Last week, we finished filming for a wedding video. Destination Weddings is huge business for us. We're a great location for it. So again, this is a real couple, and we staged them getting married again out at Hammock Beach Resort, and showing them they not only have their wedding here, but just stay here for your honeymoon. That's the goal. And also, it's just a great couples video as well. We'll use it for. So we were able to include a lot of partners in that one. All right, any questions?
No, those are real good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just a couple, go ahead.
Do you use local videographers and photographers for all of this?
The one for these were St. Augustine. So we have, I think, 5. We have a library of folks through the RFQ process that we can use, and St. Augustine vendor is the closest one that is in that library we can choose from right now. And they've been working with us and Visit Florida for a long time, so what makes it nice is a lot of our partners already know them, and it makes shooting very convenient and easy.
I think it's kind of disappointing we don't use local vendors.
Yeah, I agree. And when we went out to RFP,
we didn't have any bidders.
But did we go to local people? Because I will tell you, like, that's our problem even in the city. It bothers me. And then I'm like, we need to be very focused on engaging the local vendors to see, would you be interested or would you like that?
Yeah, there was locals I specifically sent it to, and just didn't
What
apply.
was their reasoning? Do you know?
I think if it's very labor intensive. We ask a lot of information and show a lot of, backup and examples. So I don't know if they look at that and just start to feel overwhelmed, or I'm just.
Can I speak to that?
Yes.
I have a friend who's a professional photographer here in Palm Coast, and because he is a professional photographer, however, he does not warehouse all of the equipment that he would need for all the different kinds of shoots. For him to shoot something like this, he would have to go out and rent a whole bunch of other equipment, and I think the cost gets over and above what these people who are doing it all the time do. Most of the people here are not, they're professional, yes, but they don't do it full time, and I think it's cost prohibitive for them to do a professional shoot like this without charging a whole lot. I mean, that's what he's told me in any case, and I don't know whether that's
It's
true
probably
or
a
not.
variety of reasons for different folks, but
Well, it's the problem we have in the county too. And when we want something done and we go out for bid and nobody locally bids on it.
Crazy.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's crazy. So.
And just 2 more items, and then I'll be finished. So just for the public record, I just did want to address and inform everyone that the staff has made the decision to cancel 2 events that you originally had approved. One is the Coquina Cup event, and one is the EVP volleyball tournament. And that was just after we reviewed the event history, the overall ROI, and just our firsthand knowledge. The staff and the interim administrator made that call. So I did want to put that on public record and be happy to answer any questions anyone has.
Well, the issue with the Coquina Cup is we didn't have anybody register, right?
Yeah, we would have liked to been a little bit higher than we were, and with being a little short staff, we're a small staff, and it's a lot of work. And then 2 weeks ago, we held a workshop where we put out flyers and emailed businesses, specifically Flagler Beach. This was targeted to, where we offered a free 1-hour tourism workshop where we gave no cost and low cost ways to promote your business. So And it specifically said if your business has the potential or is being impacted by the construction on A1A, you cannot miss this workshop. And we had a great turnout. We had 22 people, but I wish we could have had more. But I think we're going to do another session again before the busy season hits. But what was nice is that we did a section, Candy led the section on the website. So all the listings, all the members, they now have their own login and they can go in and update their listing. They can put their pictures, their social media channels. And also she shared with them, hey, we can help promote you on social media, in newsletters, in blogs, videos that we've done, paid advertising, and here's what we need from you to make that happen. 1, 2, 3. We made it make it as simple and comprehensive as possible. And then we had our rep from Visit Florida come, and people may not know this, but even if you're not a member of Visit Florida will still help promote you. And it's not as extensive as if you pay the membership, which is still very affordable. It's like $395, I think. So she shared what she's able to do for those businesses, and then I wrapped it up with understanding their role and presence in the Google world. And that was as a result of an effort that we did on our own as our office. We worked with a vendor who works with the Google Travel and Tourism department at Google, and they did an audit of all of our tourism businesses. And it was incredibly daunting, all the spreadsheets that they sent me of what is needed. So, there's a staggering number of people who don't come to our website, the destination, and maybe not necessarily will come to the business's website, but they get all the information they need from Google. And Google now has 6 travel products, and a lot of that information comes from the owner of the business and then the users. And there's an algorithm that kind of mixes them all together. So the idea is, hey, business owner, you want your best pictures, information, ideas, promotions to be front and center when someone's trying to search for you. So just like if someone saw the family video and they see ripple effect, they may just Google ripple effect, and then bam, right on that corner, like the business profile, there'll be ripple effect. And they could just stay in the Google world and decide to book with ripple effect. And so that's another free service that we offered. Through this program, they also gave us a Google Pixel phone so that we can go out and immediately verify their business, because right now what someone has to do, especially mom and pops, they get overwhelmed and it's not their world. They have to wait for a postcard from Google or wait for a phone call to verify. Well, with this phone, they uploaded it with these apps that we can go and sit with the owner of the business and walk them through it. A QR code comes up, we scan it, they're verified just like that. I have the camera there. I can start taking 360 videos, which is the way we need to start moving in that direction, upload beautiful imagery. So that's all service that is available, and I encouraged everyone to share it with their business neighbors, spread the word, and we're a small staff. It may take us a while, but we'll get out to everyone. And we were very pleased. Everyone was very thankful. We gave them also a binder here, and so we printed out our this year's marketing plan, but each one of those sections had our presentation printed out so that, it's a lot of information. They can go back to the business and get started. And then we also gave them a little selfie light that they can put on their phone so they can have good lighting when they take pictures of inside their business for them to use. So it was great. I think it shed a lot of light for people that those are things that they didn't realize that we do, and ways to work with us, and that's what we need to do more of and get better at. And hopefully through the strategic planning process, things like that will start to come up. And that's all I have.
Any questions, commissioners?
Just one comment. It would be nice to see more of those workshops. I got a lot of positive feedback. I was not able to attend, but I know on on the beach, there's a lot of business owners that would like to go to that.
Absolutely.
Anything else, Amy?
No, that's it. Thank you.
I want to tell you, I was watching the Golf Channel yesterday, and right in the middle of this show, there was a whole video on Palm Harbor Golf Course in Palm Coast, Florida. And it was good. It was real good. I mean, I had to stop. That's us.
They did their job.
Really good. It was really good. Are you going to go over the tourism number, the dollar numbers this month?
Their revenue report?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can go back to that. So the past...
The trend, that's all. You just...
Yeah.
Are we going up or going down?
We had 2 months of down, and the number has not yet been officially reported, but it looks like for the month of March, we will be up 1.75%. So we are anticipating either flat or down a little this year. So we're going to do everything we can to not make that the case, but we're prepared. We're hope for the best and prepare for the worst.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Why are you expecting the down? Because of A1A?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely have to take it into consideration, yeah.
Yeah, I think Eric can tell us maybe we're missing how many beach walkovers, and the access to the beach is just not real good down there right now, right?
Correct, and it's not going to be for a little while. It's unfortunate. We just
Right.
now our city manager's working with FDOT on coming up with FDOT supplies funding for a shuttle system, and we're going to get that going. We're hopefully going to get that going. That's in the early stages right now. But when we get into tourist season, we are short on walkovers.
Yeah.
And that will have an impact.
Do we have any remedy or anything we can do on that? Or?
Not really a remedy. A lot of it will be just logistics, getting folks to the right areas of the beach. Because you
yeah.
can access it and you can get to it.
Right.
But it's a matter of letting people who want to come to town know where to go, where they can get it, so they don't get frustrated and
Right.
end up going somewhere else.
Right.
That's the biggest challenge, and is being worked on.
Okay.
There's a lot of pieces of that. Amy's been working on some signage and working with owners about just trying to figure out where do we get these people. And then the other issue is a lot of these things they're moving. So where you're going 1 month, you're not going to go another month.
Right.
And
yeah, moving target. Right.
It's going to be a tough one.
Well, if the county can help you in any way, please call me. All right, if we can help you.
Yes, sir.
If nothing else, I'll open up the community outreach. A 30-minute time has been allocated at the end of this meeting for public comment. Each speaker will be allowed up to 3 minutes to address the board on items not on the agenda. Does anybody wish to address the commission? Seeing no one come forward, I'll bring it back to the board. Any comments from the board members? Yes, Mayor.
So I've been trying to search through my emails. I received something about Airbnbs and federal legislation that went through that is requiring them to collect and report in a certain way. Have you tracked any of that?
No. Do you want to? You don't have anything? Yeah.
I'll find the email that I received and forward it to you. If you can forward it to the members of the council just for information. But it's new legislation, and it's holding their feet to the fire and closing the loophole that has been an issue and has caused an inequity in how we collect for tourism dollars. So I thought it was a positive thing for us. I just want to make sure we're staying on top of it to account for that and let those Airbnb owners know of new legislation that was just passed.
Okay. Yep. Thank you.
Gary?
Yeah, we just got some good news from Lionsgate, who part of the production companies for Bernie the Dolphin 2.
Yeah.
And they are so excited about this. They're doing a major rollout of Bernie 2, much greater than the first movie last year. So get ready for our world premiere of Bernie the Dolphin 2. Will take place, I'm told, early fall.
And they're going to do it here again, right?
Yes.
Right. Good. Good.
That movie happens to be 60% shot in our communities.
Excellent.
So much better than burning one.
That's good news. Yeah. Eric, anything?
I have nothing, thank you.
Mayor?
Just actually one other thing. I wanted to mention Coastal Cloud had hosted an amazing event totally up at Marineland for our all hands. So we had 174 employees that came in, stayed at the resorts, had activities there. It might be beneficial to look at technology companies that are looking for that type of, event for a weekend. Someone at the resort had told me that there are other companies that are doing this and hosting it, but to really create an experience was fantastic. We had comments back from some of our employees from all over the country said it was their best experience. They did a tour of the entire dolphin adventure, the Sea Turtle Hospital. We had a reception there, we had a band there, lunch there, and, I'd like to see us really create more of those types of events as well that I think would be beneficial. I don't know, you were there to see the photo. They actually had the trainer have the dolphin leap over all the employees as we were sitting there in a photo, and I mean, it's a great remembrance of that day or the 3 days that we were there, but it was truly remarkable. So I just put that out there because I think there's probably a niche market for that, looking for a different kind of experience and having that ability to enjoy not only the beach, but really the attractions that we have locally.
Did they get to ripple effects? Did they get to kayak?
Their spouses were offered different excursions, and that was one of them. So what was really cool was a lot of the people that are boaters locally that are employed here got to take their boat, like over in the C-section, and drive it up there to work. So, I do think there's a market for that. I don't know, where we would sort of look to tap into that market, other than I'm sure there's some type of broker in the universe, and maybe some of the hotel lodging associates could help with that type of group activity sales, maybe in the off season or some of our slower months that might attract a very different clientele.
I'll just follow up with that. We've already got something underway, okay? It's called Well Done, and it's a corporate executive retreat that we're partnering with any hotels who want to, okay? And we've using the dolphins as a metaphor and how positive reinforcement with the animals also works in your companies and businesses. To get the most out of your people with the least amount of effort, it's all about praising and recognizing good performance when it comes about. So we use the dolphins as a metaphor, yet the corporate executive retreat takes it to another level. And it's based on a book done by Well Done, and we've had meeting planners come in to experience this. We got raving reviews, and some of them are in the process of booking some of these corporate executive retreats.
That's just what you're talking about. Yeah. Do you have anything?
Yeah, I would, in view of all the recent publicity the tourism board, this board, and tourism in general in Palm Coast and Flagler County has received, I would like to see us somehow get to the local press and bring out the fact that we are contributory to not these people, local people, not having to pay taxes. There's still a big misconception that we cost money to the local residents. And we are not. They have no clue that we bring in extra revenue, as Amy said, to negate or lessen the burden on the local homeowners. And at the same time, we could bring up more promotion on what you're just saying about corporate retreats, because there's such a misconception in this county about what we do and what tourism is all about. They think it's about people going to the beach and that's it.
Yeah, we get beat up on the commission all the time about wasting taxpayer dollars for this, and we go, excuse me, it's not your money, it's the tourist
somehow
money.
we have to bring that message home. It's just crazy.
Yeah. Nope. Nothing for you? You have anything, sir?
No, sir. Good.
Mark? I just had a couple questions. Do Gary, on the Marineland website, are you linked into the our tourist development website now? Did that happen?
The town of Marineland? The new website?
The new
for
website,
the town?
yeah. Did that get linked in? Do you know?
It's not linked now. We actually have the preliminary, we're just looking at it now as of last night, okay?
Right.
So we're making recommendations to update that and upgrade it, but it's a whole new website for the town of Marineland.
Right, but as we discussed,
yes,
we want to have links
yes.
to the Palm Coast.
It isn't there yet.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I had a meeting with a tax collector this week, and this is primarily for Amy. She has offered to, if she has a email package that goes out to all the owners of the short-term rentals, and she said if we want to like monthly put out include in her email, she would just hit a button and send it out, kind of a list of activities that are going on in Palm Coast, Flagler Beach, Flagler County for the next month. And then that would be posted in these short-term rental buildings. And I think it would be a great idea. And she said all you'd have to do is just email it to her and she'd fire it out.
We are doing that. We've done one so far, but we're doing it quarterly instead of monthly.
Oh, that'd be,
So,
whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, whatever. I thought that was a great idea.
Yeah, and I want to take advantage of that email database too, because I don't get the sense that a lot of the owners know about us as well.
No.
And if they're paying the tax, we want to help promote them.
Right.
It just expands our inventory and our selection. So, but thank you for bringing that up.
Okay, good. With that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. We're adjourned. Thank you all very much.